The episode we're going to talk about today, the dinner party of The Office, elite Office episode, top 5, top 3. Top 1.
Top 1 probably.
And it's in the top 2 of dinner party titled episodes of sitcoms.
Oh yeah? What's the other one?
Seinfeld. Dinner party. Also season 5 of that show. Season 5 of Seinfeld, season 5 of The Office.
Season 4 of The Office.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I had a whole like galaxy brain thing with the two parallels.
I mean, I think it shows season 4 for me, but I don't know.
No, you're probably right, because that's, well, let's just go with it.
Let's go with it.
You took me by the hand, made me a man. That one night, you made everything alright. So rock, so right all night, alright, oh yeah, oh yeah. So rock, so right all night, alright, oh yeah.
Whether if it was season 4 or season 5, that's when the show stopped being like elite to me. 1 through 5 is great, 6 and 7 is okay, 8 and 9 is terrible. This is, if not my favorite episode, top 3. It's the best episode where they're, by far, obviously as I already said, it might be the best episode. The best episode not set in The Office.
Yeah.
Booze Cruise might be the other one where it's really good. I do have one,
No! God, please, no!
I won't even call it a complaint with the episode,
No!
but one takeaway that's not positive, but I'll get into that.
No!
No, go ahead. That's fine.
You want to get it? Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to get it.
Let's just dive right in. I mean,
The last 2 seasons of The Office, I guess it's not even a dig at this episode, but I'm going to get into it. The last 2 seasons of The Office, well, they're trying to compensate for not having Steve Carell, and they're like trying to make something new, and they bring in new characters.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
And it's just really, it's a bit cringy, it's shitty, it's bad. So many of those episodes take place not in The Office.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 seasons are the only 2 that I haven't rewatched any of the episodes. But
like when he goes down to Florida to go get Aaron from Florida.
Yeah, and it's like at a certain point, and why I have trouble rewatching this show is the show kind of makes you, after like the 2nd or 3rd season, suspend belief that they're shooting a documentary, and you kind of forget that there's cameras going on.
Yeah.
In the season 8 and 9, it's almost like the people who worked on the show forgot themselves that the whole premise of the show was that this is a mockumentary, that they're shooting a documentary in an office.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to Gettysburg and shooting with the office. They're following Andy to go win Aaron over. They're in Jim and Pam's house at a time. They're like with Jim and Daryl in Philadelphia, and it just makes no sense. The camera angles don't even make sense. If you watch some of the things in season 8 and 9, you see like the camera angles wouldn't make sense. Like there wouldn't be a cameraman right there to get that angle. For like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking about it too literally, but it hurts to rewatch for me in those later seasons when so much of it is not taking place in the office. Comes back to this episode is, back then they didn't have that many of them that weren't taking place in the office, and
Yeah.
they would get away with, like this is kind of unrealistic that they would go to the dinner party, I think.
I mean, I think,
Unless they're filming like a reality TV show, which would have worked, I guess.
well, I think that at the same time, the way that it works is Michael has led everybody to believe everybody's got to work late.
These people are my friends and I care about them!
So they're going to be shooting in the office late.
That's true.
And so everybody who's working is like, oh, we're going to be working late. And then he pulls the switcheroo. And so maybe at that point, whoever's directing the thing is like, you know what? Let's go to the dinner party. Let's follow. And Michael probably
could
would
be.
have been like, yeah, come to the dinner party. You guys can come too.
Well, do you know in a season 2 episode where Jim's having a party at his house, Michael's not invited,
Yeah.
Tonight, wonder where my evitation is.
and then Michael goes to his improv class instead, and there's a camera that follows Michael to improv, and then there's a camera crew that goes to Jim's party also. And you don't really think about it when you're watching it then, but when you really do think about it, it's like, again, unless they were doing like a reality TV show, which it almost feels like in a way,
Yeah.
are you just telling your improv class that a camera crew's following you, Michael Scott, office manager, to your improv class for some documentary? And
Yeah.
like, Jim's like, come to my party. And I think that you can get away with that example and this example if it was just like a 5-season show.
Yeah.
That 95% of it was taking place in the office. but the whole 9 seasons, there's so much of it that was outside the office. The British office works better, I think, like very subconsciously in a way, because it's all, for the most part, in the office, and it's only 2 seasons and 16 episodes, and it's like, this is believable that you're filming something, and that you're just like a fly on the wall to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm with you. But at the same time, too, like, yeah, you when you have signed up to be a part of that, they're trying to get an idea of, like, I understand the reasoning behind it, right? Where they're like, oh, we're trying to get an idea of who these people are that are working in this office. It's a story about people, you know, and their lives. And so, yeah, you might actually follow Michael to his job at the call center, which is a different episode, the one where he's working.
But like the call center would be okay with that?
We're a legit operation with a license from the city I can show you. We pay minimum wage against commission.
Nope, they're with me, so.
Probably, yeah. Every single one of those people in the improv was like, yeah, sign me up. Let's go. We got a camera here? Like, yeah, I'm gonna act in front of the camera, and like maybe
That's
it's gonna
true.
give me my like
Well,
big break.
That's what I'm saying is, like, in the first, I consider this still like early season.
Yeah.
There's so few of these things where it's like you can get away with it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You can justify it.
Yeah.
But then the entire 9 seasons is also the point of like, why are they still filming this 9?
Yeah, I
years
mean,
later?
to be honest with you, by the time that I've reached like the 5th season, I start back over on the 1st season.
That's
so like
totally
it's
fair.
just,
Because like, why are they filming Jim and Pam's wedding? Why are they?
especially when like Jim and Pam have gone through efforts to try and avoid the cameras or like be away from the cameras.
Why are they at the christening of their kid in like the 8th season?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That said, this is still like this is the
This
best
one
episode.
is really good, but there's still elements of this episode which remind us Jim and Pam suck
Yes.
as human beings. They are awful human beings. They repeatedly turn down Michael, who has been trying to just hang out with them for a while. I get it. Like, if any of my bosses at any point were like, hey, like, let's go out for a beer, or let's go like hang out, or let's go get dinner, or let's do this, that, and the other, I kind of be like, nah, I'm good. Like, I've never been big into the whole, like, I got to be friends with my bosses. I got to be into the culture and everything like that, which goes to in the office that we worked at together, where once a month they would do the drink tank thing at the end of the day on a Friday or
It's
on
on a
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
It might have been on a Thursday.
It was someday
So,
in the middle of the week or whatever. And then I'm gonna have a little something, and then I'm gonna get out of town. Like, I'm going home. Like, I don't need to be
Wait, so
here.
you agree with Jim and Pam then?
Well, I agree to. That's why, like I was saying, like, I understand why your boss is trying to be friends with you, and like I'm not big into that. But also at the same time, like, you could also just say that
No! God, please, no!
instead of just
Yeah.
being like, nope. Oh, I've got this to do. Oh, I've got this to do. Oh, but I'm your friend. I'm your friend in the office. But I've got a t-ball game. I've got this.
That's something I've gotten better at, because I would always make up. There are people we would work with that would ask to like hang out or something, and I would make up excuses that once upon a time, because you felt like you needed like a legitimacy
Right.
to it. But you can really just say not tonight.
Yeah. Like, I'm not interested. No thanks.
Actually, the less you give an excuse, the better off it's going to pay, because you can't find somebody with a retort.
Yeah.
If your excuse is specific and they can poke a hole in it and be like, well, you can just come after, or like, oh, then we'll do it this day.
Yeah.
If you just say, no, I don't think so,
Yeah.
or maybe another time, you leave it, you give them no options.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, too, like, again, I'm not defending Michael and his repeated desires to be friends with these people, because all he wants to do is be friends with everybody in the office.
These people are my friends and I care about them!
This is a pattern with Jim and Pam. Like, it's not just, this is the one thing.
Peace! The One Piece is real!
This is the one thing. And that's why they're terrible people. It's like, well, you add this into X, Y, and Z, and it just compounds as to why they suck. Like, also, at the dinner party, Jim tries to ditch Pam.
Dinner sounded delicious. Pam, I'll see you at home. Thank you so much. It was a great
Oh,
night.
Jim, I don't think you're going to abandon this party here all by itself.
With his
Yeah,
excuse to
the
like get out of it
apartment
with
flooded
the
or-
apartment flooding. Like, are you seriously gonna just ditch your girlfriend?
Pam, I'll see you at home.
Like, because? And then thankfully, as you say, they poke holes in it, and Michael and Jan are like,
You can buy new stuff, but you can't buy a new party.
That's true.
it's okay, it's already destroyed anyways. Like,
Exactly.
don't worry about it. and so then they have to stay. He steals Jan's CD
Yeah, that was bad.
at the end to make a joke, and a bad joke too at that. And then he sabotages the game on purpose, like when they're playing the game. It's
Yeah,
like,
he's an
look,
asshole.
you might as well, you're in it at this point, right? Make the most out of it, right? Okay, well, we're gonna play a game? Great, we'll play the game. Let's play the game, fine. But to like purposely ruin the game so that they stop playing the game? Like, do you think the dinner's gonna end earlier or something's gonna change? Again, I stand by the fact that Jim and Pam are terrible human beings, and the fact that we were made to, in the moment, be all about their love story
You were gaslit.
and wanting them to get together and like, yeah, I feel gaslit.
How dare you gaslight my friend? Steve Carell, how could you?
Justice for Roy. That's
Yeah.
what I say. Yeah.
Justice for Roy, indeed.
It also makes me feel bad for Dwight and his babysitter that he brings.
Purely carnal, that's all you need to know.
In that he really wants to be there and Jim and Pam don't want to be there, but Michael really wants Jim and Pam to be there. It's like the cool kids.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's kind of sad. You almost feel bad for Dwight through the whole episode. He brings his own wine glasses.
Yeah. Because they didn't have enough wine glasses and they didn't have enough food, so he brought his own food and he brought his own wine glasses. So let him be here.
They're eating out of like Tupperware containers.
Yeah, the beets out of the Tupperware
Yeah.
container. There's a lot of gags in this episode that, you know, like you watch them and can watch them over and over again. The plasma TV gag that he spent all this time and money to get this like little tiny plasma TV that he mounts up on the wall with a little swivel.
That is a $200 plasma screen TV that you just killed!
The one thing from this episode, well, not the one thing, but one of the things from this episode that I quote very much out of context, is the vasectomy line.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap!
Oh, snip, snap,
Snip, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. I quote that.
Oh, I do too. My friends and I,
Do group vasectomies together. I just love getting a little snip snap going with the boys.
we're in a group chat, anytime somebody seems to be waffling, a lot of times somebody will say snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. And that's also a great gif.
Yeah.
Is Michael going like that and it pops up on screen, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of gags too, like the neon sign, the neon
ties the whole
St.
room
Paul
together.
Polygirl sign that ties the whole room together. We also quote a lot too, dunking our meat in the wine. You know, I have a soft palate.
Yeah. How could you say that?
But the one thing that I feel like many people can empathize with is why the glass door is broken, because he ran through the door. I feel like that's happened to a lot of people. I feel like it's happened to a lot
Really?
of people that like, maybe not like,
There's a Curb episode where that happens.
Oh, what the fuck, Larry?
but like I know for a fact that like screen doors at multiple places that we've been to, like with friends and family, have been just demolished because whoever it is doesn't know that the screen door is there, and they just bust. And they just bust right through that thing. That thing gets destroyed off the track. The screen flops over. For the glass, not breaking the glass, but like running into glass because you don't know it's there. It's a sliding door and you think the sliding door is open and you run right into it. Like I feel like that's happened to a lot of people.
Can't say it's happened to me, but I've no, I don't think I can even compare to it.
No?
No.
I don't know. I feel like
you've done this before and you're just not trying to
well,
admit
so
it.
well, I will say for me personally, as a kid, we were at a vacation home in Wisconsin, and I think I had seen like some big dog or something that was outside of the house. It was like running around, and like I thought this sliding door was open, and like I was running to go tell my dad or something that there was this animal that was out there, and I went straight into that door because the door was closed. I thought it was open. It happened. That has happened to me, but other people, I feel like it's happened to like a friend of mine that we were at a vacation home, I think in Michigan, and went straight through a screen door because thought the screen door was open because it was open and then somebody had closed it and right through the screen door. And those things, like, they're not built very well. Like those frames bend and like when they break, they break.
And I think Michael says because it was too clean. Hunter, Jan's assistant, he took me by the hand, made me a man.
That one night, you made
Marquette alum.
Oh.
And people like know that too on campus. They're like really like when we talk about famous alums.
Yeah.
There's some that's like basketball players like Jimmy Butler's. Marquette's promoting him a ton now, but in the celebrity status, Danny Pudi always came back to campus. To like we were talking off camera about John Cusack, like trying to get in front of cameras at Cubs games. Danny Pudi always used to come to a bar on campus, but he would always play. He'd hang out for way too long, at like 8 o'clock on a Friday and play Pop-A-Shot. And he was like clearly looking for someone to come up to him and be like, "Hey, Danny Pudi." And I like Danny. It's nothing against him, but he was always hanging around campus a little too much. Rondell Sheridan is another one we make fun of, who's Cousin Skeeter on the Nickelodeon show, Cousin Skeeter. But Hunter I don't even know the actor's name. We always just say Hunter from The Office.
Yeah.
In my senior year of college, I made I ran a satire website kind of similar to the one we have now. And we had for March Madness, a tournament of things competition. And it was like Marquette objects, people. I can't remember what all the regions were, but it was goofy. And it broke the site because all these alums were voting on it and stuff. And Hunter, I think, made at least the Sweet 16.
Well, Stanley, who not necessarily appearing in this episode much other than the very beginning of the episode, is a Loyola alum. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
really?
he is. We only really have like a few like really big ones.
The big one.
That people would be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. And most of them are kind of older, like Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart is a Loyola alum, and everybody knows about that. But yeah, Stanley, not Hudson, but his real name is Stanley, is from, he's a Loyola alum.
Do you see the new Honey Nut Cheerios commercial with Stanley and Phyllis?
Yeah.
He appears whenever you eat Honey Nut Cheerios.
Like a genie? Sort of. I can grant.
Silence, Brand.
That's fine.
It's you know, they are,
That's all I have to say.
it's you know, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like take it back to The Simpsons, right? When Homer bowls the perfect game, and then he just like appears places or shows up on a show. He's like, "Did someone say perfect game?" You know, like it's that.
Yeah, because that commercial, it's like them. It has nothing to do with the product. It's just like a bunch of people our age and slightly older will be like, "Oh, it's Stanley and Phyllis." Actually, the more we talked about it, I think this is the #1 episode. It has the most quotes. It has the most like singular, like Jan's candles we didn't even joke about.
Yeah.
She can't do business in the same room that she creates in.
Michael sleeping on the little cot at the foot of the bed like a dog.
Yeah, there's a ton of.
I mean, it's awkward, and that's what makes it great, is how awkward it is.
Michael and Jan always saying "babe" after the end of every sentence.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell it, babe, or should I tell it?
I don't like that story, babe. She might be trying to poison me. Hey, looks great, babe.
Yeah, this is the best episode.
I think so.
The score is going to be like 9-4.
I'll say like 9-3.
9-4.
There you go. Right on.
I mean, there was a small range that it could be.
Yeah. But top episode. Yeah.
Top 2 dinner party episode. All right.
Anything else that you want to add about the episode?
I was just gonna say it has the best bloopers too.
Check this out. Folds.